Okay, so now we're working on strip number 8. And so on strip number 8, looking at problem number 1, it reads, the graph shows a relationship between the time and distance a cyclist travels. Which of the following best describes the slope of the line? And so like I taught you, whenever you see a graph, the first thing you want to do is find some points and look for some pretty points. So the pretty points I see are 2 and 30. And then I also see 4 and 60. So you can use those points to find slope. And so the easiest way to do that is take your calculator and go stat and enter in your data. And your data would be L1, you would have 2 and 4. And then for L2, put a 2 there, you would have 30 and 60. So I'll just write that on the side. L1, L2, 2, 4, 30, 60. Put your data in, and then after that, you would go stat again, go over to calc, option 4, and press enter. And when you do that, you should see that your slope is going to be 15. Y-intercept is going to be 0. So now, which one shows that? That would be answer choice B. All right, moving on to number 2. Students organize a walkathon as a fundraiser. The graph shows the amount of money earned during the fundraiser, which best describes the amount of money raised per mile. So if you look again, we're going to find some pretty points. And so the pretty points I see are 3 and 500. I'll just kind of write that here. And then the next pretty point I see is, let's see, how about 6 and 1,000? All right. And so when I put that in my calculator, list 1, list 2, and go to stat, and then go to calc, option 4, just like we did before, you will see that the slope is around 166. And so I'm looking, even on this graph, if I go to 1 mile, which is right in here, and I can see that is right before I get to 200. So when I look at these answer choices, F doesn't make sense at all because it's way too high. G doesn't make sense because it is way too high. If I look at letter J, that's exactly 200. And so that would be still just a little too much. But the best fit, I think, and I believe, is H, 175. Because when we do the actual slope, it's 166. And the slope here, I think, is the best one, or the closest one to that is 175. So your answer is H.